Hey everyone, Malthus here. I wanted to talk to you guys today about how I'm feeling about Mists of Pandaria Remix and how I personally am approaching it to get the most out of it. So far, loving it, not gonna lie. As you can see, my Demon Hunter is 64. I've also got a 12 Priest, and I'm probably gonna do at least a Warrior or a Rogue. Maybe a Monk, I don't know. Something. So, what I want to talk to you about today is how I'm approaching it to get the most out of it without having like the burnout that I'm seeing a lot of people having. Let's go ahead and load this up. So let's talk about a little bit of the burnout. Currently, I'm seeing a lot of videos of people who rushed up to level 70 and got stuck because of just general like being weak or not having what they want to gear-wise to keep going. And so I'm going to tell you how I'm approaching it and how I'm not having any problems at 64. And really, I'm having a better time as I'm leveling instead of feeling like I'm getting crunched the higher level I'm getting. This is kind of in response to a video I watched where two people had rushed up to 70 and had noticed that from about 55 on, they felt significantly weaker because their gear level rating was low compared to when they were like in the 30 to 40 range and they felt incredibly powerful. So just as a reference, last night I went from like 58 to 64 in like 2.5 hours, and most of that time was spent doing like regular little quests and doing raids. So things we'll cover is ways to level up while you're doing this, what to watch out for, what to avoid, and kind of like my preferred play style. So because leveling up is kind of my jam. So a little bit about my character. Like I said, I'm 64. I've got all my gear at a reasonably high item level for what it is. You're going to have a relatively low item level because you have no trinkets, you have no fingers, no neck. And so, yeah, you just kind of got some empty spots on there. Aside from that, I've got about 31,000 bronze. I spent some last night getting a couple of mounts because mounts are relatively cheap. Some of the mounts are relatively cheap, I should say. Let's see. Sources. Uncheck all. Let's do promotion. No. Anyway, I'll just show you over here. I bought Sky Surfer. I bought, let's see, what did I buy? I bought the Reigns of the Night Terror Wing because it looks awesome, I think, anyway. It's like a black and green, purplish and green Pterodon. And I'm going to save up what's left of my... We'll get to this, but I'm going to save up most of my bronze for just some of the epic mounts. I'm not a huge fan of the dragons, but some of them look really cool, and I'd like to have them in my collection. So, let's talk about bronze. Right now, bronze is used for a couple of things. It's used to buy cosmetics, and you can buy all the mounts cosmetically and stuff that are count-wide. You can buy raid gear. Okay? There's normal, looking for raid, heroic, all that stuff. They're just all right here together. You can also use it to buy toys. Okay? If you're one of those people that likes to have little toys and stuff, they're not that expensive. And since I haven't done anything out of the ordinary to get more, I just have 31,000 as I've been leveling. I think I maxed out at about like 37 before I started buying stuff. And then the other thing you can really pay money for, and what a lot of people are doing, is they're upgrading their items. When you hit 70, you're going to need to do this if you want to be viable in like group raids and stuff. But from what I'm seeing, if you're just going to do what I do, which is like looking for group stuff, you don't really need to do this. As long as you keep up on making sure you have the highest item level available from quests, and you make sure you get your gems and everything, and you keep leveling up your cloak, you're going to be fine. So let's talk about my cloak for a second. Let's see. So it doesn't show on here. It's just a Cloak of Infinite Potential, item level 346. If you go up here, I have relatively good stats. I never did any like frog farming or anything like that. I just don't care about it. But I've got pretty good things. The thing that I care about the most on my cloak is my % experience gain. Because if you focus on that, you'll continue to level up at a really steady pace. And when you go and level up alts, it'll contribute to the leveling rate of those. And so that's something I think you should look at. Whenever you do like looking for group stuff, you'll get these lesser spools that'll give you bonuses to this. And so like, let's go to Raid Finder. The first time you do any raid, and the raids are broken up into a lot of different raids. The first time you do one every week, so if I do Guardians of Mogushan, right? The first time I do it for a week, I'll get this. That'll give me an extra 7% on this that's permanent, and you can do that for each one. So if you do what I personally do, which is kind of every day when I log in, I sign up for Dungeon Finder, Scenario, and Raid Finder. I come in, I grab the daily quests for each one, and I do at least one of each. And these give you things that buff your cloak for stats. Scenarios do the same thing, and they also give you bronze. That's what these little things are. And then as long as you do, I'd say probably one raid, it's going to just kind of slowly go up. My goal is to have about 250% before I move on to a secondary character. Just for example, I'm planning on doing all 4 of these tomorrow when I'm on stream, and so that'll pick me up an additional 24% experience on my cloak. Plus, anytime you're doing a looking for group activity, any of them, when you beat a boss, there's a chance you'll get a thread of experience from the boss drop, and that'll just give you another 7%. So if alts are your jam, kind of like they are mine, that's something to keep in mind. Now, what I'll do is I'll just like go to an area, pick up all the quests, pretty standard, and then I'll throw myself in looking for group for all 3. I only usually do 1 scenario a day. They usually take a little while, but they don't give a lot of XP. So I'll do 1 of each, make sure I do 1 scenario a day just to get the daily reward. And then I'll just do quests. Takes usually about 15 minutes to get to a dungeon as a DPS. And I could, as a demon hunter, I could also tank if I feel like it, but I don't know the Pandaria dungeons well enough, I feel like, to tank yet. And then I also throw myself in Raid Finder as a DPS. That, depending on the raid, it takes about 30 to 45 minutes to get into a group as a DPS. Some raids are all less popular than others, but everyone's trying to do at least 1 of each, so that's good. They've the thing that they've done here, where it's like the first time you do it every week, and it's for every single one, is really nice because it makes it so you can get into almost any raid at the same rate as any other one. The one that's going to get the most attention is Siege of Okermore, because when you kill whatever his name is, Gorosh or whatever, Hellscream, you get a token that you can use for heirloom gear. That's really cool looking. It's like the classic Horde or Alliance gear from back in the day when you did PvP. So that's going to be probably the easiest to get into, but it's also the hardest raid. The way it works is as you level up, you will unlock different raids. It'll start with the vaults, and then it'll go to Heart of Fear, and then Endless, and basically it just unlocks sets. So when you hit 30, you'll have these. When you hit 35, you'll have these two, 40, and then 45, and then 50. And you want to be doing those as you level. The way gear and items work in WoW, whenever you're below about 65, you're just inherently more powerful because there's less item levels. Basically, the power is not squished. And so when you get to like 65, that's when item levels start going up very fast. And so if you aren't keeping up on your gear, you're going to be a lot weaker on average than you would like a level 35 who has just the normal level 35 gear. And so if you do raids from level 30 on, you're going to have a better time. You're going to be more useful. And you're going to have a easier time not getting like one shot if you miss a boss mechanic. I've found that the looking for raid system has been very forgiving. And I've had no issues with like people getting mad at me, stuff like that. I did have one time where I got into a raid where we had a frog farmer and he was able to solo the 10-man looking for raid, basically. And that was a hilarious and eye-opening experience, I'll tell you. I basically didn't have to do anything. He would kill a boss. He would kill a raid boss in 20 seconds. And it was kind of nuts, and I just rolled with it. Why not, right? Now, when it comes to getting experience, your best experience is obviously going to be doing each looking for group once so that you can do the quests in there. Because even at my current level of 64, a quest is still giving me 1/10 of a level. So if you get 2 or 3 quests at the beginning of a dungeon, the bosses also drop a thing called an XP boost, which gives you usually about 1 bar's worth of experience on your, like, so 1 little increment bar. And so if there's 3 or 4 bosses, you're going to get about at least half a level depending on what you're doing, plus the quests you can turn in. Now, raids, like I said, don't give that much experience because there's just, honestly, in the Pandaria raids, there's not that much trash. And you're clearing it so fast and everything. It's just not a good source because it's all 25-man raids. So everything's divisible by 25. And then scenarios are okay. You'll probably get about a third to a fourth through a third of a level. If there's quests, you'll get some more XP out of that. So I would look at it. If you're thinking about doing it, you still got plenty of time. You got like 80 something days left. Come in, use it as an opportunity to level something you've never leveled before, like I'm doing. I've never done a Demon Hunter. And use it as an opportunity to get some alts to 70. I'm going to use it to get... I've got a couple of classes that I've never really played. And I'm going to use it as an opportunity to get those classes to 70. So when War Within comes out, I have several different things to play. You do get a little bit of gold. I have currently 2,700 gold. Nothing in this can be sold for gold, but when these characters move over onto the real, onto the season realm, the War Within realm, they'll carry the gold with them. So that's kind of cool. I wish that you could sell some stuff, and obviously the inventory is kind of a mess. You get lots of consumables. I highly recommend making yourself like a little organizational thing. So like these are all of my Tinker Gems, which are like the things that modify your skills. I have my metas, which are the big abilities. So like this one lets me turn into a lightning ball. It does AoE all around me. And then you've got like the cog wheels that go in your boots, and these do movement skills. Currently I'm using Trailblazer. Highly recommend it. If you have never played a hunter before, it's just amazing. You just move 30% faster as long as you aren't in combat. You also get these scrolls. The scrolls are basically the stat buffs from the different classes. Use them when you're in a raid. Be that guy. Be helpful. And the nice thing is, if there's a higher level person who has a better version of it, it won't let you use it and waste it. So there's that. You're also going to get a lot of stuff like band-aids and stuff, and you're going to want to... I mean, I don't use them. Obviously, I've got 208 of them. Every time you beat a quest, you get a chest. And the chest will drop a bunch of consumables and possibly like a piece of gear. And so you'll just I just put all of my little gear here, and I'll show you guys what you're going to do is you're just going to go in here, and they give you an ability called the Unraveling Sand, and you're just going to right click on your items that you don't need. And what it's going to do is it's going to go ahead and recycle them down here into bronze. As you can see, oh, you can't really see it, but it's like 64 bronze, 59, 56, 50, 27. And that's how you keep your inventory clean. They also give you gems, which give you stats for some of your gear. Currently, I have like my chest piece has plus leech, has speed and haste. My pants give me versatility, mastery, and haste. And then the other stuff is like those special trinkets that I told you about. So it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of stuff to do. So on this character, I have done all of the Jade Forest and about half of Valley of the Four Winds. So what I'm planning on doing on this character is finishing out Jade Forest, or I did Jade Forest, but having this done and then finishing out the Valley of the Four Winds and then just finish leveling with groups and stuff. And then when I run another character, I'll just do a different one because they all level scale. So not a bad thing. I'm taking a very relaxed look at it. Obviously there's the other people, and I think they're a much more vocal group of people who are like, this is how you power level through Pandaria. And it's like, or you could just enjoy it, because the stronger you get your cape, the faster you can level an alt. Basically the way it works is the more you level this up by getting different threads, it counts how many threads you have, and each thread gives an increase to a running tally. After you get to a certain level, it unlocks the next level of that tally, and it then will, like if I hopped on my priest or something, it would give a percentage, like, so let's say 60% of all of these stats to the second character, thus making it so that I can level that character way faster and be way stronger. It's a lot of fun, I'll tell you. It's like a power trip. You go into a dungeon with 5 dudes and you roll it, and it's a lot of fun. So if you haven't started yet, I am on Demon Soul on Horde. You're welcome to join me, or just hit me up and let me know how it's going for you. I'd love for people to start focusing on kind of the fun, relaxed aspect. And like I said, if you're just a cosmetic hunter like me, you get cosmetics by doing like exploration. You can get bronze that way too. There's achievements for it that give you like caches of bronze and stuff. But like I said, if you're just in it for stuff like mounts, you can get this cool Silver Surfer one like I did, and it only costs you 2,200. I had that by like level, I don't know, 20 or something. And you can get like cool these ones. I don't buy any that aren't flying mounts, because I feel like that's kind of silly these days. But you can also get like really cool Shenron mounts and stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to make a little video and talk about how I'm enjoying it and how I think is a good way to look at it, which is a relaxed view. You hop on for a couple hours, you have some fun. Just make sure you're doing raids. They only take like an hour at max if you're doing poorly. Sometimes we can do through the whole thing without one of those ridiculously maxed out people. We can still do it in like 30 minutes. Because what they did is they cut up each raid into sections of about 3 or 4 bosses a piece. So like, as you can see on here, it's 4 bosses for that one, 4 bosses for that one, 3 for that one, and 3 for that one. And so what you'll do is you'll just hop in a queue. It'll put you in a raid, and everyone kind of knows what they're doing because these raids have been out for a long time. Just follow their lead, and I've yet to wipe on a boss, but if you do, I'm sure it'll be fine. And if you die a lot, that's fine. No one's going to get mad at you. So I hope this was something that you might have needed to hear if you wanted to try it. I think it's highly worth it. It costs no more. It comes with your WoW subscription. And if you want to try it, you can try it from level 10 to 20 for free. But you won't last long. It doesn't take you long to go from 10 to 20. So if you have any questions or anything like that, just hit me up in the comments and we can talk about it. And like I said, Demon Soul Horde, we're hanging out over here. So you have a good day, and I hope you have a great adventure in Pandaria or Cataclysm or wherever you choose to. I'll talk to you later. Mouth is out.